I should have put my finger on it yesterday in terms of what's the one thing that Ten Hag or the players have done since that Brentford. Yeah, how do you change from where we were so low, as bad as it gets, to what we're now seeing? What is the thing that's... I mean, is it the change in the team? Is it the new players coming in? Is it just confidence? Is it Ten Hag's instructions?
It's probably just a mixture of everything. Like, the fact, like Adam was saying, like, the fight and the intensity from the players, that is a sort of a knock-on effect from Malacia bringing a bit more, Martinez bringing a bit more, Eriksen bringing a bit more. I think as well, pre-season almost gave this kind of false hope where the players seem like things are turning around here and this is looking good. The Liverpool game, the Palace game. And then you get humbled in those first two games the way they did. It's almost like they had to kind of reset entirely and think, actually, we were kind of giving 70, 80% in pre-season and that was working. But actually, it has to be 100% or nothing. And obviously, that making them run in training, I don't know, a lot's been made of that, probably more than it needs to be honest. But I think showing that you have to work, and not just you, but I'll work with you. I think Ten Hag doing that was massive.
The defence is important as well. We've got a solid defence.
Yeah, I mean, is it not? I mean, you're saying that, and I was watching the show yesterday, and for me, it seems pretty obvious what's happened. I think Ten Hag's obviously reneged a little bit on exactly what he wanted to do because, you know, he's having Eriksen as a holding midfield play. Maybe the goalkeeper can't play as well with his feet. But I don't want this to say like Man United being lucky, but what's helped is that you've got the first goal in games and then you've almost sat back. I didn't see the Leicester game, but I saw the Southampton game. That felt very similar way. So Liverpool had a lot of the ball. No, Arsenal had a lot of the ball. Southampton had a lot of the ball.
The running stats from Brentford and what's been previous to what there's now. What I'm saying to you is, how's that changed?
I know, but when you've got running for 2 years. No, but Gary, when you've got 70% of the ball, as Manchester United did against Brighton and did against Brentford, and then you're chasing the ball, there is going to be a big difference in terms of.
I think the defence is a big factor in that. We've changed the defence in those 4 games, which I think is a key point. You look at Martinez, you look at Varane. They've given us some solidity. I used to criticise Scott McTominay an awful lot over the last 12 months. And even he's putting in performances at the moment. I feel like once you've got 2 centre-halves that you can trust, it gives you a little bit of stability. Beating Liverpool, a game that we probably went into thinking, we'll take a draw here. We get a win in that. That can unite the dressing room and make everybody think, actually, Cristiano Ronaldo's now not moping about and, you know, is he going to leave, is he not?
I told you
however long that lasts. But, you know, we haven't got the question marks over him. I feel like everyone is pulling in the right direction.
Okay.
Have you changed your mind on Martinez, by the way?
No, I think he's a good player. I wouldn't want a centre-back who was 5'9" in my team. I would not.
You said it couldn't work, didn't you?
We'll see. We've had 4 games. Don't be getting carried away.
We've played 2 of the top 2.
Well, you said it after 2.
Have you
talk about getting carried away.
No.
You still think it can't work?
You said that after 2 games in terms of, you know, talk about getting carried away.
Yeah, and we have to analyse after 2 games, so don't get carried away after 6.
Yeah, but he was
you were talking about
yesterday as well.
Do you see, if Odegaard scores the open goal he should score, you'd be saying he made a mistake. But listen,
Jesus got in behind him.
But for a defender to be 5'9" and play, never mind the Premier League, to any level of football, he's got to be a good player. Because that is not normal, you don't see that. So his passing is very good. He looks aggressive, he looks like a leader. I'm not saying he's obviously not a bad player, but to play at that level of 5'9", I wouldn't want my team, or I wouldn't want to play alongside someone who was 5'9" as a centre-back.
What you're talking about here is essentially the margin for error, right? So, first 2 games, Harry Maguire is playing his new role on the right-hand side. He's played his entire career on the left side as left centre-back, and he doesn't necessarily trust Martinez, right? So if you look at one of the goals, the second goal against Brighton, he's stood in front of Martinez because he's old habits die hard, go over to the left-hand side. He clearly doesn't believe the 5'9" man next to him is going to make those tackles, so he's trying to mop up. Goes wrong. Rafael Varane, just trust him. For reasons. He's just different. And that trust and that, you know, the whole way they are playing, Rafael Varane's doing certain things, and if Rafael Varane misses, Lisandro Martinez goes, don't worry, I'll increase your margin for error because I'll sweep up behind you. That allows an extra thing. Tyrell Malacia being a little bit more intensive when he's defending increases the margin for error Martinez can play compared to Luke Shaw. And ever so slightly, just cumulatively, the margin for error to play a 5'9" person builds. Martinez knows he's 5'9". Everyone knows he's 5'9". If you listen to this and you're 5'9", I feel really, really bad for you. Because all you're going to get all this season is 5'9", he's too short. But Martinez has played his entire career knowing he has to be near perfect every single time he makes a tackle.
And that's my point. And my point on that is you've had, if you think of the best centre-back to ever play in this country, I never saw him play. Bobby Moore wins the World Cup. You think of Franco Baresi, I would say he's the best centre-back to ever play in my eyes. I didn't see Bobby Moore play, but Franco Baresi was lightning quick, was amazing on the ball. He organised the whole defence, and he was still 5'9", 5'10". So what I'm saying is, for Martinez to play at his level, he's obviously a good player. You can see he was passing with his left foot, he's aggressive, all those things. So he has to be because of the height. But at times that will cost him. But if he is 9 out of 10 at everything else, as you've just said there, you sound like a mathematician, but it will compensate for being 5'9". Because at times, if you're out of that height, you will get exposed, as we saw in the first 2 games.
Which is true, and it's quite interesting that Gabriel Jesus is probably the striker who's given him the most business, because Gabriel Jesus is the first one to look at him and go, I'm not going to play you like I'm bigger than you. I'm going to play you and run. This isn't going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a dance.
But that, we said before the Liverpool game, listen, I wasn't the biggest centre-back at all. And I found it more difficult playing against Kevin Davis, Bobby Zamora, Carlton Cole, rather than playing against a United or a Chelsea or a City, because that game was more about reading the game. When I was having to win challenges constantly, I wasn't amazing in the air. That's where I think he will look at his best. We said that before Liverpool, when he's reading the game and the ball's coming into feet. And yesterday was pretty similar, even though Jesus was amazing. But I think that's where he would be at his best, maybe in certain games against top teams. But I still think at times you will have a problem.
That's fine. I think what we're essentially getting to a very long conversation in basically what can an individual do in a collective. What you can do in basically what
that's the athletic in general, isn't it? I mean, your pieces are like that. I mean, it takes me about 20 minutes to read them. Jesus.